should be going now. Let me know if anything sounds too loud, Ben.
Alright. I'm setting.
Yeah. I'm hoping this music doesn't play at... Might. But we'll see. Okay, where was I? Oh, it has been 2 weeks since my last one. So, I think we're ready. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream, or the video if you're watching this in the future. We are going to be continuing with the kill team, or with the custom kill team that I have. It was between this and like 2 other projects. I gotta turn down the music for myself. There we go. So, I don't think we have too much more left with these guys. Just a little bit of like working on the guns and some detailed stuff. I apologize about the shakiness of my camera and stuff. It's not the best desk I have right now. But I think with this guy, I need to do the paper, and I also want to pull out the silver again. Yeah. Let's see what I have on hand. Give me this one. And we'll go with this one. Put my little paint tree to the side. Oh, why does he have something shining on his shoe? That's new, damn it. Okay. Yeah, first things first. This one. Oh. I'm gonna have to do new paper for my bag at some point. Or my palette. Come on. I figured after all this time, this bottle wouldn't actually give me any problems.
Okay, I need to check on something.
Okay. I forgot to mention, I am joined by my co-host from last stream, Ben. As currently he is now leaving to go take care of his animals. I'm gonna just try painting at some point. Ugh. I like Army Painter paints, but some of the bottles that I've been buying, they have clogs in the tip before I've ever even used them. So I have to take the little, like, squeeze tab off to actually use them. Okay, that's gonna sit there. Right? No, people can see that. Clean off that brush. There we go. I just realized the paint I'm using is called Brain Mannered Beige. I didn't realize that's the name until now. But, no, that's the one I'm going to be using for all these little... for the base of the paper. It's not the best brush. Yeah. I think everything should be running fine for the stream, but if there are issues, let me know in the chat. But I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day weekend last week. I planned on streaming that weekend, but personal stuff kind of came up. Friends came over to visit, and we actually had some nice weather up here, so I actually just enjoyed my weekend. It's always tough for me at this point to figure out, like, what steps do I want to do next, especially when I haven't touched these guys in 2 weeks now. Been working on getting other projects done and trying to work on a video. But I've recently gotten myself distracted playing Path of Titans. That's been a lot of fun. If you want like a... I don't know if I'd say it's better than the Isle, which is another dinosaur game. Or like where you pretend to be a dinosaur. They all have their different quirks and stuff like that, but I prefer Path of Titans a little bit more. All the communities have been friendly on that, on either one. But definitely more of a selection on Path of Titans, and the questing is better, I would say. That might have popped up on my stream. Oh well. What was that? Probably shouldn't be this so particular with it, but I want to be. I will admit I am tempted to change the whole color scheme on this army to being something different. Or at least this kill team, I mean, than what I'm currently working on. That's my issues. I don't even know what my color scheme is, and I get bored of color schemes easily enough. Let's see where we get tonight. I think it'd be cool in the future if I practice with like making flames on a couple models. And I think it'd be cool if I did that again with the armor. I did blue flames, not red flames, because I have a much more fan of blue than I am red. It's not the best brush for this particular moment, but it will work. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll keep doing that with the rest of these. Sure, I have some more somewhere. Let me just check. Oh, his scabbard needs to be more brown. Maybe last time, but he... Oh, no, he does got one on the chest. I almost missed that one. Excuse me. I'm okay with the black showing through. I am going to hit it with a wash later, but on that first coat, I'm not too concerned getting it deep. It kind of makes it more like a paper look anyways. I know the captain has one. You have something. I don't know if that'd be considered. No, I might do the paper color with it. Yeah. Oh, and on your shoulder too. There we go. Start with the shoulder and go from there. Ben's working on his way back. Welcome back.
Highlighting.
Adding color to everything that's going to be like a paper looking. So, like I did on this one, anything that's the purity seals, that would usually have writing and stuff, I'm doing in a kind of beige color.
Nice.
So, which I didn't realize, but the beige color I'm using is called Brain Matter Beige. And it made me chuckle a little bit. I don't know why it made me chuckle. Maybe just like I wasn't expecting it to be called Brain Matter.
Yeah, it is,
It's an odd name.
very specific.
Yeah, I don't think of like brain matter as being beige, but hey, whatever. I do think one of these streams we should play, or at least soon we should play Space Marine 2, especially with the update. I have not played it since, or I haven't played in quite a while.
You could also try out Dark Tide.
Dark Tide. I know I have played Dark Tide. Why am I drawing a blank on it?
It's the one like Vermin.
Oh, like Vermintide, yep. Okay. Yeah, I was seeing some skit stuff on that. I do want to try that as well. That might be a fun, like... Be fun with the two of us, and be fun playing with the guys.
Yeah.
This brush is not working like I fully hoped it would. Actually, what happens if I add a little bit of water? Might have made this too much of a wash all of a sudden. Yeah. But it will work. Any sort of topics you want to talk about this time, Ben?
I can't really think of much.
I liked our
added punching Monster Hunter Wilds.
They added punching.
Yeah. The
You just-
new collab.
So you can just go up and
wear.
No.
Yeah,
Sorry.
if you wear this armor set, Sakuma from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
It gives you like items in your toolbar that lets you do the fighting.
So you can just go up and deck a monster.
Yeah, and the damage scales with your weapon too. So,
Oh.
like people are actually doing fist only punts.
Of course. You give anyone the chance just to punch something, they're going to.
Yeah.
Okay. This is always the annoying part. Just sitting and doing the tiny detail stuff. I guess I find it more annoying because it's not as entertaining to watch, but it is important.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll actually meet up to play with the guys. We haven't done that in a while. It's been a little bit.
It's been a week. Yeah.
Yeah. Bet Bob's dying to have everyone game again. I haven't seen any more horror videos as of late. My feed's mostly just been filled with like dinosaur content.
I guess that's the algorithm and work.
Well, it's
Noticed you playing Path of the Titan.
actually no, opposite. So after watching the horror stuff, which of course was all based off dinosaur stuff, I then started getting Path of Titan stuff, and then I bought Path of Titans because I wanted to try it. I was playing the Isle, which is another dinosaur style game, but I couldn't play the most recent update, and so I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't want to be stuck playing this older version that's never going to get updated. I'll go and play like this other one I've been seeing a lot of stuff on, and I've been having more fun with the Path of Titans. I want to play like a proper dinosaur, but I just haven't because I've just been like, oh, if I want to explore, I'll go be like one of the flying dinosaurs, and if I want to like play something I enjoy, I'll play the crocodile for like a little bit. So I've had a couple close calls where I've almost taken out. I've taken out one player playing as the croc, but I felt a little bit bad. They were a small raptor, but I was hungry. And then I tried to take out Tregs a couple times, but I could not grab them to sink them, and I wasn't doing enough damage to like bring them down quite yet. So
Yeah, you gotta wait.
well, it's also situational. Like I haven't played enough, so I'm making a lot of like beginner mistakes that I'm sure people do. Like waiting for the right time to grab somebody, or making sure like you're the right size.
Oh. You'll get there.
I will.
You're only at stage 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like
You're like
still relatively large. I mean, I'm able to grab like other small dinosaurs and like juvenile stuff. So, but like I was telling you, like I am playing with other people, but just not having someone to talk to. Like it'd be cool to be on with someone and be like, hey, like I see this thing, let's go do this. But
Yeah.
it's
Let's try it out.
up to you. Like I said, if it's $30, if you enjoy it, that's awesome. But I don't. No, to understand me saying like, "Oh, I want someone." Don't take it as me trying to convince you. Like, do I want you to play? Yes, but I want you to buy a game that you're going to enjoy. That's how I'm like looking at it.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, you do level up.
Try it first.
Yes, I played solo like a little bit, and then I moved on to a server, and it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be on a server. I don't have any dedicated ones I'm playing on. It's just whatever pops up.
So, do you keep your character?
Yes, so you can make multiple characters. And so I have 2 characters, like I said I was playing. I play a flying and I play a crocodile. But there's 2 maps too. So on one map I was playing a herbivore. And then I was also playing like a crocodile on that same map. The crocodile's better on the second map, which is an island, compared to the first one. But either way, it's all fun. I was playing as like one of the flying ones, and I was flying above a couple of like Tyrannosauruses and watching them hunt, and whenever they like leave a kill, I would go and then eat on the kill after. And I would also start to fly ahead and try to see if I could find anybody and start calling out to try and have the Rexes come and like get the other player. I don't know if I was breaking a rule or anything, but it's definitely cool to watch like other players play. Like when I do the flying one, it's less to grow and more to like people watch. So it's definitely... I was going to do something with these and I forgot. I think I might do these as green. Forgot though. If I play again, I don't know... Or, I do want to play Herbivore, but I don't know which one I want to do. Like, I want to do a big one? But I also don't want to take so long. It takes forever to, like, level it up. Because it is tedious, like, doing the same quests over and over to, like, get experience to level up to get to the larger levels. Like, I played over the past 3 days in, like, 2-hour sessions here and there. And just got up to where I was with the croc. But, eh. So... I hope everyone's enjoying the stream and my little random talk about Path of Titans. That's been my newest game of fixation as of late. It's made me behind on a lot of my personal projects. This being one of them, but I also want to do this one on stream with people and complete it. And if I complete these models tonight, I'm going to start a tournament army. I have half of it already finished. I'm doing Adeptus Custodes for that, so It's a 2,000 point game for that. I have 1,920 already made, and painted. I have another over 1,000 to do, and I think it's going to be a good army. I don't think I'll win anything in the competition, or in the tournament.
I will faith in yourself.
No, here's the thing. This was my second time playing in a tournament, and I got my ass beat the first time I did a tournament. Again, I didn't know what I was doing. It was like my 4th game of Warhammer ever. So it was what I had built. Oh, go ahead.
You've got more experience now. So
Yeah.
you know what you're doing.
Yes, it's true. Still doesn't mean I have ever won a game. Like I said, the one time I've ever won a game was like with help of other people. I've gotten close with my custodies, but we had to pack up before we could finish.
Damn.
Again, when I play with the group in at my local library, we can only be there from like 5 to 8.
Yeah.
And that's not a lot to be able to do anything, and that's like the amount of time that you would have in tournaments, because I think that's like 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. Or, nope, that's 3 hours. Which in like tournaments, that's the amount of time you get, but we're not tournament players, we're casual players. So we don't take time. Plus you got setting up the board and then taking it down. So really we only play for like hour and a half maybe. And Ben, with our game, remember how long like it took us just playing as one unit to those 2 people?
Yeah.
And everything, so scale it up to like larger armies and everything. It takes a bit of time. Plus knowing all the rules as well. And there are a lot of rules, so I'm much better at it now than I was then. Because my main thing with that first army is it was uncohesive. It was so many different units that I wasn't trying to do one thing. If that makes sense. Like I had an idea and I was using units I liked, but I didn't really know like, oh, okay, this unit does this. And when you have like a lot of different units on the board, that also makes your game slower as well. So I then start to streamline, like, okay, I'm going to use these units and then get good with them and then simplify it a little bit more and more. So I got better, but then now it's me learning about positioning and like it's just a really sophisticated game of chess at the end of the day. And you gotta be willing to lose some pieces, and you gotta decide what pieces you want to lose at that time. So that's what it boils down to with that. Okay. I got the first base of beige on all those guys. Actually, I'm gonna hit this guy's skull real quick. Brush is going to turn into a dry brush before I even know it. Okay. With that, think next is going to be the silver again. I think I'll switch to gunmetal though. Yeah, it's going to be gunmetal. There. Now I'm going to hit everything with gunmetal and try to tarnish up the blades a little bit. It is very fine, and I know people really can't see it that well. But for me, I can see it. But I hope everyone's having a good day. I appreciate everyone that's tuning into the stream and just wanting to watch me paint. It's definitely some good motivation. It gives me time to practice on things. So you were talking about Monster Hunter earlier, Ben. Are there any hunts that you're like really like? What monsters do you really enjoy right now, hunting and all that stuff?
Out of the new ones, I really like the cephalopods.
The cephalopods?
Yeah.
Oh, the octopus ones. Yes, because I've seen a little bit on them. I haven't played, and I am lacking behind. I will admit that.
Yeah.
On playing.
They're just so unique.
Did they add 2 new ones, or did they bring back an older one?
They made a completely separate category for the new ones.
Okay. I thought
All the previous ones were like elder dragons.
Okay. That's what I was kind of confusing. Because I thought there was a, I thought they added that one. The Elder Dragon one to that same list. Because wasn't that one like, it was covered in oil and could do fire? Or is that the most recent one I'm thinking of?
What'd you say?
The most recent one. Like, it produces oil and then sets itself on fire,
yeah.
Right? Yeah? Okay. I didn't know if I was confusing that with a different one or not. The Elder Dragon was just like a pure... That one was covered in bone, right?
Yeah. It's like a big cuttlefish.
Big cuttlefish.
Or spoilers, I guess.
I'm never gonna fight that monster, you know it.
But come on, dude. Let's boot up GU right now.
No! I'm not
This
gonna
will
boot
be a
it.
gaming stream now.
Okay, first off, I'd have to do the DS. And then
it's on your Switch.
Okay, well, I have to figure out how to connect my Switch to, like, all this stuff. I don't think I have that. I don't even know if I have to buy a specific Switch for that either.
No, I don't think so. You could just use the camera. Just put your Switch right there.
Just have the Switch and my phone record it that way?
Yeah.
That's one way of doing it, I guess. Okay. It's nothing crazy, but that gunmetal is doing something. Oh, I was putting finished ones over here. And actually, for the proper gun itself, I'll throw some gunmetal on. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. After the last stream, I started digging for like different music and all that, and I found this channel that's currently playing, and I really enjoyed listening to it. I thought it fit the vibe of 40K a lot more than the last one. Unless I am listening to the last...
Honestly, it sounds like Plant vs. Zombies music.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Either that or some discount store Halloween music.
I guess I'm a little bit offended by that. I'm a little bit offended. But I'm offended because you're right. That's why I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, it does kind of sound a little bit Halloween-ish. I don't know if the guy made it all himself or if it's from like the Warhammer Mechanicus game.
I've never played it, so I wouldn't.
I haven't either. But I've heard it's really good. I'm gonna hit the magazine with that color as well. Thinking I might do like the main part of the gun in green or something. Just be a different bit of color that pops out. Because like having a full black gun is a little bit boring in my mind. But I don't know. I'm also going to make this be gunmetal. Even though the rest is silver, this part will be more tarnished silver. I think it's going to pop really well once the wash hits it. Are there any new games coming out? I don't really keep up with gaming anymore. You do it a lot more than I do. So I don't know if you know of any that I should be keeping an eye out for.
Well, that Elden Ring Night Rain is out. That's pretty much the biggest release that I care about right now.
Okay.
Or I'm aware about.
Fair enough. I want to try Elden Ring at some point, but I'm not good at... Is it From Software that makes those, or...?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at those.
Souls-likes.
Yeah, Souls-like, not the best at. And that's not even like supposed to be like a pure multiplayer. That's a mod people have done before. Right?
Where it's like multiplayer everywhere.
Yeah, like I've seen some videos where people have like played with like 5 people on a Elden Ring game. Because I know you can summon people, but other than that, eh.
Yeah, normally it's only like 2 people. I'm only in locations specific.
Yeah. Going back to Warhammer for a second, they are coming out with a new Space Wolf box. I don't know if you know about the Space Wolves at all, Ben.
A little bit, yeah.
So they're coming out with a new codex and a new box for it. Tempted to get it just because I want to do things with the models and I like the Space Wolves. But I also, at the same time, don't need to spend like the 200 and something bucks on that box. But it looks cool. fly around here.
Yeah.
Let me make those a little darker. One of the characters in the box was one I actually read about in a Spaceful's book recently. And it was their librarian. Plus also their, like, chapter masters coming out now too, which he's no longer on a sled, I guess. He's now like a walking mini, which he's got kind of a cool model.
Nice.
I think the Space Wolf models look good in general, in my opinion, especially the I almost want to call it their librarian. No, it's not a librarian, it's a chaplain. It's got like a wolf skull and a hood, and I'm like, that looks so good. I want that model specifically, but I don't know where I would use it. But it's a model I want to put somewhere. I want to put it somewhere in my army, I just don't know where. It'd be a really cool chaplain to throw in any army, or a good model like the Kit Bashwood stuff. I'll do that darker silver in there. I will apologize for the poor quality. I'm using a phone camera and I'm not sure which camera works best for it out of it, and I apologize for the shakiness every time the whole video shakes.
Yeah, you gotta get a whole new setup.
I want to save up for an actual, like, proper camera, but because I have a phone and, like, when I'm recording a video and stuff, it looks fine. But for some reason, with this program that I use for streaming, it drops it down from what it was. Hell, even one of my buddies, who did a stream recently, which kind of inspired me to do my streams. I don't know what he used to record, but his quality went down compared to what he normally puts on videos. So it could be just certain cameras are able to do it and some are not. I don't know if it's like a programmed whole shebang, but I am working on a video. I'm working on putting that art competition piece together. I do have that almost finished. I need to do one. I'm almost done with the one model for it. I gotta do its arms and do the base connecting to it. For all those here and that are kind of curious on what I'm working on, I am doing a custom kill team, or a custom Angel of Death kill team for myself, using the company hero box and 2 other minis. I am using a Blade Guard veteran as well, and a Inner Circle companion for different things. So I got like 2 that are going to be assault intercessors, being the Inner Circle and the Blade Champion here from the hero box. Heavy Intercessor, and the Blade Guard will be Heavy Intercessor, but just with a pistol instead of the big gun. And then I have an Assault Intercessor, and also being led by a Captain. So that is what this kill team's going to be. I could use, the proper models that are like with it, but I wanted to do something more fun and interesting, at least for myself. I'm also kind of working on these for maybe a Crusade army using Space Marines either. I don't know if I'm going to use that with the group I play with at a public library, but I might. I'm definitely going to use it with a game that I play with my co-host here, Ben, and he runs. I'm drawing a blank, and you can jump in and help me at any point.
Was it the Chosen?
You're using Chosen, but what's the faction?
It's Black Legion, right?
Black Legion. I was drawing a blank on Black Legion. Which, I'll have to see how many Marines come with that. Because the Legionary box for Black... I almost said Black Templar. You just said it, and I forgot it again. Why am I drawing a blank on the name?
Black Legion?
Black Legion, wow, yeah. It comes with, like, 10 models. And I'm curious if all 10 models are on the board, or if it's like Angels of Death and it's only 5. Well, 6. I still don't know what's in a full team of, like, Angel of Death. I think it's 6, because you have your captain and then all the other little models. I know there's other units that it is a full 10. And I could look it up. I think I might have sent you the Kill Team like website that lists every single team that you can, up to date team, and a couple homebrew ones. Because I do want to make a Tyranid one that is based off the Hivestorm one, which is a homebrew one. But I want to switch out all the warriors for different lictors and leapers and all that. Plus, like, a couple of the proper little guys with it. But I could also wait until the Typhon box comes out and get that kill team. Which kind of inspired why I want to do a Hive Fleet kill team. So, yeah. Oh shit, I forgot a Purity Seal was on here. It's hidden behind that bit of metal. I just realized I still have top chat on and not live chat. There's been no messages either way. There. At some point, I need to do your minis, Ben. But I also want to do that in a video as well. Which is why I haven't worked on it yet.
Well, considering you keep forgetting the faction, it'll be good practice.
It will be good practice, especially at some point when I want to do a Chaos Army. Chaos Army one day. But that will be Iron Warriors. I'm half tempted if I do a Chaos one of just getting 30k models and only using those. Mixed in with a couple 40k ones. Which I know they just released some new 30k models. And they look a little bit funny, but at the same time, I like the way they look. So that you know, Ben, and anyone that doesn't know, the newest models that came out are something called Terminators, which are just like walking tanks of the Imperium. And the reason why they look funny is because a normal Terminator... you saw some models at the store, Ben, and you were trying to get at. don't know how to describe it to other people, but the newest models take one of these minis and add thicker armor and the pauldrons, have him stick out to here, and his head is sitting in the middle, and he can't move his head from side to side. He can only face forward. That's what the newest Terminators look like, but it's also the most like badass Terminator armor the Imperium's ever made. And it, from lore wise, from what I understood, it was supposed to be the armor that all Space Marines wore. Is that what I'm talking about? The Saturnine box? Is that the newest like 30k Terminators that came out? Because I kind of want to get some of those models, and they're coming out as Salamanders, which is one of my favorite Space Marine factions. I will... Okay, that is what I was talking about. I do want to get those and add those into, like, this army a little bit. Just to say, like, oh, it's been... We've had a pair for so long. But if I do that Chaos army at the same time, it'd be really cool to do. Yeah. That is very true. Ezra. Correct? I'm just making sure I read that name off correctly. Yeah. I think a few of the Primarchs tweaked with Terminator armor from what I've heard and made it their own. I know Ferrus Manus tweaked it a little bit and made their own pattern. I was watching a Terminator video, like, explaining different types that they've all made. Yeah, let's do the backpack as well, a little bit of silver. Even though it looks goofy, it is a model I'm going to get. It is a little sad that the Horus Heresy had to happen, because you see what some of the Primarchs, from what I understand in the books, when they work together, like what the armies or what the factions could have been like. And I think if you got Vulcan, Perturabo, Rebute Gilliman, and I want to throw Ferrus Manus in there as well. If you got the four of them together, I think they could have been a really good powerhouse. Vulcan can make any sort of tool equipment to anyone's specifications. Perturabo, from what I understand, liked building and tinkering with stuff. So I know he's more with sieging. I haven't read any of his books. And I do want to read some Iron Warrior books that involve him. I do know he is such a tight ass, that he killed like 1 in 10 of his Legion? Yeah, for every like 10 members, 1 of them died. Just because they failed something, which that is not how I want to be introduced to my Primarch. But I like the Iron Warriors not for their brutality or anything like that, but for kind of what happened to them in there, or like what happened to them during the Horus Heresy. Because from what I understood, they put up with a lot of stuff and they always kept saying yes and never backing down, or never saying no to a request, no matter how bad it was. Yes, that is true. Sorry, I was reading chat for a sec, and reading what Ezra said. I feel like, or what you should do if you're feeling bad, is you should take an Iron Warriors model, put it somewhere on the base of one of your Emperor's Children. Probably Fulgrim would be the best for this. But just have the model without the head, as a little bit of an homage to Ferris. Which, that was a good bromance as well, was Fulgrim and Ferris Manus. From what I understood, they had a really good bromance. Because I don't... Do you know anything about that, Ben, or no?
They forged each other weapons.
Yes, I didn't
To
know.
see whose was better.
And they both agreed that the other one won. So, like, Fulgrim thought Ferris Manus won. Ferris Manus thought Fulgrim won. So, it was a good bromance. So, when... I haven't read the book on when Ferris died, but I don't know. I couldn't picture myself in Fulgrim's shoes taking out a brother that I love.
Yeah, his heart and mind was corrupt.
Yes. It was. It was corrupt. And he's been on a bender for the last 10,000 years, living with the guilt, is how I look at it. And now Fulgrim's back.
Yeah.
Because his 30K model looked really nice, and I still think his 40K model looks good, but I've heard people be like, you went from, like, perfection to then someone being on a bender for, like, 10,000 years, is how they would say the model, like, compares to each other. Which, I would take that as a compliment, to be fully honest. Like, that's a compliment in my mind. Like, okay, so you got what Slanesh's aesthetic is, of just excess. And what would that do to a person? I haven't assembled it yet, and I'm not disking the model at all. I think it looks like a good model. I do want to start a collection of all the Primarchs. I don't know if you can get the Fulgrim for the Horus Heresy. Because I want to get Vulcans and... Oh, he starts with another V, but he's a Custodes. And I'm forgetting his name, and I shouldn't. I just finished the book involving him, too. I hate this sometimes when I just draw blanks on things. Valdor. I want to get Valdor's model and Vulcan's model from Horus Heresy at some point. But the only way I can get either one is that I spent $200 and it's already painted. And I don't want it already painted. I want to paint it myself. But if I get it, it's going to go on the shelf with the lion. Because I do have the lion, but I'm not painting the lion until I have 1,000 subscribers. Because I don't think I'm good enough yet to paint the lion. And I've had the lion for almost a year. I bought that when I went to France. That was my mission to buy it. I could not find it, and I bought it the day before I flew back. And it's assembled and sitting in my shelf. So yeah, that is honestly my goal, is if I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm painting the lion. And I will do that as a stream. With that also being said, I think I am done with the gunmetal. There's some detail stuff that I want. I'm gonna have to look up that model in a second. You got me curious on who that character is. Who is Nathaniel Garrow? I'm gonna copy that real quick. I've heard the name before, and that's why I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's a cool model. Do you gotta head out soon, Ben?
No.
Is Nathaniel Garrow a part of the Inquisition before it was Inquisition? Who was he? Who was he? You got me on this little side tangent. Okay. I'm glad I came back to chat and read that. That's why I heard the name before. So, one of the channels I watch on the side is Lysander and Coda. And I remember watching the Grey Knight video and the Malkador video. And that name came up. I think it came up more for the Grey Knight video. So that's why I recognize the name. But, okay. Just stay focused. Let's see. Yeah, now I'm going to work on the guns. These guns need a little bit of love. And I think after that, it's going to be... Oh, God. Because I know I got to do red seals at some point. It's funny you mentioned Dark Angels. What I'm working on, actually, is a homebrew chapter of Dark Angels called The Seraphim of the Abyss. I thought it was an official one until I realized I'm looking at a homebrew page. So, these are a Dark Angel variant. Supposedly they're like second founding and all that stuff. Hence why I got some Dark Angel models in here. The hard part is now I'm tempted to do regular Dark Angel green. But I also want to do like my own models that are me. That involve Dark Angels, Salamanders, and so many other factions. But, staying focused. Guns. And then all the other little stuff after. So like I said with the guns. Ooh. I'm thinking, and it's a good thought, because you said Dark Angels, and I want to use, or do Dark Angels at some point, I'm going to use Army Painter's Angel Green. That's what I'll use as the base for the guns. Except that one. I'll leave this one black. I want to do a little bit of white on it. I've seen the Lions variant for Horus Heresy, and I do kind of want that one as well. But that I feel like if I have the 40k one, the line would just be a collector's piece at this point. Which, I mean, that's... I don't know. I'm kind of building a collection, but it's like, do I really want to spend money on more models? I mean, yes, I will, but... They are cool models. I'm glad to hear that. At some point, I will paint that model. I don't know if I'll copy the exact colors. I might just make it my own. I thought about painting the lion and calling him... If I did the Crusade, calling it, like, the Shadow. Something weird, weirdly edgy now that I think about it, but calling it that because I have him set up in his cloak, and because these guys are like blue and black, I figured he'd also be like black with like a little hints of color here and there. But also because I don't know if I'll ever say these guys are officially Dark Angels in any sort of way, because I will keep evolving this chapter to be my own through time. So Ben, are you still with us?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. I know you have the Chosen right now, but are there any models that you might want to get?
Trying to think of their names, but it's like the Terminators with the big guns.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say the Chaos Terminators. I don't know their name as well.
Yeah, there's a specific box.
Was it the one that we saw at the game store together, or was it a different one?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I think that's just their regular Terminators. But those are a cool looking model. I like the tusk on the Chaos ones, or at least the helmet for the Chaos Terminators I like more than I like the actual Imperium's Terminators. I don't know, the tusk coming out of the front just sells it on me a little bit. Maybe that's how I'll slowly get corrupted into Chaos. Other than that, I did want to send you something that I found on Marketplace. Someone was selling their... It's been on the market for a bit, but someone was selling their... Someone was selling their Chaos Army, and I wanted to send it to you. And they were selling for like $125. And it was a few models. I'll find it later and send it to you. Chad is saying that the Reaper autocannon for the Chaos Terminator slaps as well. I'm assuming for like looks and stuff like that. That might have been what you were looking at and what you liked. Because like, was it a minigun or was it a?
Yeah, like a belt pet minigun.
Yeah. You also like that with the Legionnaire box as well. With the kill team, you like the minigun.
Yeah.
Are you a minigun fan in general?
Yeah, pretty much. I like how it spins.
When we did airsoft, was there a minigun at the airsoft store when we were like?
Yeah, there was.
Do you ever wish you bought that?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But we haven't played enough, honestly.
I know. I got rid of all my guns. Because we weren't playing at all, and it's hard to get a group together.
Yeah.
If I could get a group together and do it like dedicatedly this summer, I would get myself something.
Yeah, I still have my guns.
Oh, I'm sure you do. You spend some... Well, we both spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
I probably spent more than you did, and I got... Did I trash all mine? I wanted to sell all mine, but I might have just threw them all away, which was like a very bad idea. Now I think on it. Chat just telling me that the assault cannon for Loyalists is what it is for the minigun for Terminators. I mean, miniguns in general are badass.
Mhm.
So, chat, you were saying, or at least from what I picked up, you have a couple different armies. Do you want to list off what armies you have for Warhammer? I actually am really glad I did the green. The green against the black and the blue pops very well. I can't do inside the gun because his arm is in the way.
With Asana, AI teams
Damn it.
pull real-time data and help people.
I hate that I have ads. I'm not gonna mute this for a sec. Trying to get through this ad real quick. No, I do not have ad blocker. Because if I'm going to be playing a video on my stream, oh, that's why, because I got to the end of it. Okay, now you're back on. Now the music's back. That is a few armies. I was reading off what Ezra has for armies. He's got 2,000 points of Snakebite Orcs, 2,000 points of Imperial Knights, which that's not a hard one to get 2,000 points for, but still, that's a lot of money to put into an army. And he said more than 2,000 points of Dark Angels, which that is another army easily to do more points in. And he's working on a 2,000 point army for Emperor's Children.
Wow.
I hope that your pile of shame isn't big and that you've been keeping up on it. I hope you're doing better than me on my pile of shame is what I'm trying to get at. Because I think I have like... Oh god, I'm doing the math in my head for how many points I have. I know I have more than 3,000 points of Space Marines, but I don't know what type. Okay. Good on you for not having a pile of shame. You're doing much better than me. And yeah, I've noticed that GW... There's another streamer that I do watch. Damn, you've been playing a while. I've only gotten into this like a year ago. Okay, what I was going to say. Because I lost my train of thought. There's another streamer that I was watching before this, which if I wasn't streaming tonight, I'd be watching them. Name... I want to say Rosalia... They're a Spanish VTuber. And they stream on Twitch. And they do mini painting. I forgot the topic I was going to get on point with this, but Dawn of War on PC is back in a day. Oh, sucking in. Okay. Now I remembered why I was bringing them up. And now I forgot again. Wow, I am such short memory tonight. God. I haven't played Dawn of War at all. Have you played Dawn of War at all, Ben?
Dawn of War. No. Is that one of the, like, shit, what are they called? Real-time strategy? I know Warhammer has a lot of those.
I know the Age of Sigmar one, or based off Old World. I played that a little bit. What's the name of that one? Hold on, I'm gonna look up Dawn of War real quick. I think Dawn of War is... Oh, yes. It is a real-time strategy one. Right? No, single-player, multiplayer. Yeah, strategy. Yeah, it is a...
RTS, yeah.
Yeah. For the Warhammer one. I don't know if it's Quest. I can look that up. I have it in my Steam library. Because I played it a little bit because a friend got me into it, but then I couldn't do... But then I stopped. Search real quick. Oh, it's Total War Warhammer like 3 and stuff. So just the Total War is what Age of Sigmar is. God. It's kind of bugging me that I can't remember what I was going to talk about earlier with that first person. Because it involved like a pile of shame and all that, and models and stuff. I don't know. It'll come back to me like the middle of the night and I'll remember. They are fun to play, the Total War ones. I play the Lizardman faction when I do. And I kept getting my butt kicked. I'm not good at strategy games to begin with. Kind of also why I struggle with the tabletop a bit. But that just comes with practice, and I've looked up like videos on how to play better and all that. For me, it's like my main army goes after the rats, and that would be cool to do, but I also think kind of hard at the same time to do Total War style for 40k. And the only reason why I say hard is because you would almost have to do a Solaris, if you know what that is. Like, Solaris is a galaxy-spanning game. And you'd have to go to different planets and do different things. So trying to do something with that, you'd almost have to do like Stellaris and then like zoom in onto like planets and do battles that way. So it'd be a little tough, I think, at the end of the day to do Total War for 40k, but yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. They could do the Indominus Crusade. That is actually a very good point. Oh, that came out a lot more than I thought. That would actually be really good lore-wise, too. Or at least my mind. I'm like, oh, if they did in like Indominus Crusade style strategy game. That's a good point. It's a good idea. Put that on the noteboard. Yeah, noteboard somewhere. Okay. It's probably too much paint, but I'm going to take some white and put it in this part of the gun. I'm okay if this white paint overflows onto the gun a little bit because I'm going to try doing a glow effect. Not that much. I did too much on that. But I can go back and clean it up a little bit too. Okay. I'm trying to think. My brain is going in so many different directions on what to do next for these models and also on topic. Yeah, that's true. White, it does do that. And I did that a little bit on this one. I'll hold up closer. I do apologize, the quality's not that good. It's a little bit of slip up there. But I will also take that and use that mistake to hopefully help me a little bit. Because I will take some contrast paint. I'm going to take... I got 2 on hand. Iander yellow, this one, and then Imperial Fist yellow, and I will use those. I appreciate that. I am trying. My big project that I really need to finish, and I'm actually got a little bit more time on, is this piece. I'm doing this for an art competition that I got invited to back in, I think, February. Yeah, I think back in February or January. Most likely January. And I'm glad I did this. I almost didn't do this art competition. I initially had the end of May. Now I have the end of June, I believe, to complete this. Which is good because it's supposed to be... I didn't fully read the rules or updates, but corpses count as terrain for the art competition. I thought, oh, that's 2 models there. So, but no, it's now a bit of terrain. So I'm working on this guy here, another blade guard, but I'm going to do him with... clean the sword action, so he'll be more like a blade champion, but just have him behind and set up that way. So that's what I'm going to do with those 2. I got to spray paint those arms at some point. Yeah. Oh, you know what? While I also have the white... I'll wait on the white. I'll wait on the white to do another thing. I was about to take the white and do highlights on all the paper, but no, we're not going to do that. Let's do... Still working on the guns. I think there's a little bit more I can do with the guns. I think I'm going to put gold inside there. I wish I had like little bullet casings now as well to like throw on the ground. Yeah, we're going to put gold on the skulls, or the things on the gun. And we will do that with... I normally use greeted gold, but I'm going to use bright gold. I use bright gold. It's not usually one I use very often. Oh. And we are going to go with a different brush. But yeah, I'm trying to do a video for that art competition one. I'm working on that piece. The issue is I'm getting distracted by the games, and I don't always like sitting down and doing video editing. But I need to do it. Now, where's my... I don't think I have any of my detail brushes. Ooh. Oh, no. I think my detail brushes are sitting in my bathroom in a cup, waiting to be cleaned. So I gotta do it with this brush again. Okay. So we're gonna hit in there. It'll be bright, but I know when I hit it with a wash, it will make it a more tarnished look. Besides that, and I'm gonna have to hit that in there again with another bit of gold, but first, let's hit this. It's a bit of an odd color combo, but I think it works. You know, one model I want to add to your army, Ben, at some point is Abaddon, but that's just because he's the big bad.
Yeah, one day.
One day.
It's a pricey picture.
Yeah, but from what I understand, he's kind of a tough model to take off the table from what I've seen. Oh, bright gold is so different from greedy. I can see the greedy I put in here against the bright, and it's quite a difference. I'm going to do air quotes here, but the cheapest army you could really get into is Imperial Knights, from what I understand. Lord discount on Hellstalker looks sick as hell, or sick as well. I don't know that one, but that might be one I have to send to Ben. Yeah, I have an Imperial Knight at some point that I want to build and paint as well. It'll be a good 500 points to throw into any army I have. Yeah, secondhand orcs can be cheaper. I will agree with you there. I think buying anything secondhand can be cheaper. Like, I bought my first... Not my first models, but my first 2,000 points I got off of Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace. For... It was 2,000 points. I think I spent $350 for them in total. And it was... a Lancer. Yeah, it was Space Marine, so it's a bunch of different models. I know it came with 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, 1, I think, Gladiator Lancer tank, and I got that built, and quite a few models. So that was also relatively cheap as well, but at that point I've already spent more. But yeah, getting anything secondhand is so much better. Okay. Those main parts of the gun are done. I think we're going to work on the contrast paint next for what I want to do. I'll do the dark one first, and then I'll do the lighter color. Always give your paints a good shake. I think if I continue to stream and stuff like that, I'm going to have more stuff kind of appear on screen. On screen. So I do have a Baneblade as well that I want to build. So I have 4 armies that I want to build at some point, and I have all the models for. My main one is Space Marines that I want to finish. I have Custodes, which until recently was my completed army, and that was 1,000 points. I also have a guard army that I want to build, and I have enough for 1,000 points as well. I also have enough for 1,000 points as well for Tyranids. That is the 4 armies I have. And I do want to get more at some point. The Tyranids aren't built, and the Guardsmen aren't built either. The Space Marines, different models are built, different models are not built. Custodes, half of them are not built, but that's because I bought those recently for the tournament that I want to do. Which we'll see how that goes. That's going to be... Ooh, that'd be cool. So Ezra is saying they want to do Custodian Army with Dawn Eagles and ally with Executioner Squad from Imperium, so it looks super Judge Dreddy, which I like the look of that. Judge Dredd was a good movie. You ever seen that one, Ben?
Judge Dredd?
Yeah.
No, I know a bit about it.
Dude, you need to watch Judge Dredd at some point. It's a... Actually, I wouldn't say it's a good representation of a hive city, but it could be the start of a hive city, I would say. Just because, like, the main tower that the movie that I saw took place in, it was multiple floors, and of course it expanded out. Very much a grimdark future with it. Okay. Now I gotta do the red for the wax seals. I gotta do the smoke on this guy. The thing I'm not looking forward to doing is I'm not looking forward to doing the symbols for these guys. Just because it's a really complicated symbol. I'm glad you agree with me, Ezra, that Judge Dredd is totally a hive city. I think it's a small hive city by the looks of it, because I learned how big hive cities actually are. And they are massive. Like, I've been to Boston and walked around that a little bit, and that's big in my book. Oh god, the Wall City of Kowloon, I think I'm thinking of. I don't know if you know about that one at all, Ben. And if people don't know about it, look it up. It was a city in Asia. I want to say China, but I'm not sure exactly. That represented what a hive city was like, or is like, almost to a T. Just everything stacked up on top of each other. Everything haphazardly built. Just trash, desolation. It's torn down now, from what I know. So I'm trying to get my red to actually work. My red sat for so long it got chunky. And then I added water to it, and now it's like not as good as it used to be. But the Wall City of Kowloon is a really good example of what a hive city could be. That's another one that I knew about before. I heard it from Isander and Coda, but when they were talking about hive cities in their video, they used it as an example. And it's a good example in my book. Okay, this is so watery that it's not gonna look as good as I hoped. So I hope when it dries, it fills into the cracks. Oh, I was gonna say what is currently in my Custodes army. If I can look at half of it, I got a unit of Terminators, I got a unit of Custodian Guards, unit of Wardens, I got a shield captain and a blade champion. That's what I have built and painted right now. What I'm adding to it I've not seen that movie yet. I will put that on my list. Ezra was recommending a movie called Twilight of the Warriors. Walden, it was shot in a remade version of Kowloon. It's a very much kung fu like style movie. So I'm putting that on my list to watch at some point. I don't always sit down and watch. I'm more on like on YouTube and watching videos like that. That's why I know so many odd weird facts. With that also being said, no, I'm adding to my custodian army. I'm adding a transport, not the Rhino, but the Land Raider Crusader, which I have. No, I have the Crusader. I don't have the other one. I don't know why it's a separate box. I don't know why they didn't put them all in one sprue so you could choose what to do. So I'm just going to say it's this in the tournament and run it as what they list is for that. And I also have another set of Custodian Guard. And I got another. I got these models a while ago. I got another set of their Terminators as well, because the Custodian Terminators are my favorite Terminators that GW has ever made. I love the helmet. I love the way it looks. Everything about the model is a 10 out of 10 in my book. I don't think they could improve upon it. If they could, it'd be awesome. And just because they're 50 points and to round out the army, I got some Sisters of Silence that I'm going to run as Witch Hunters or Witch Fighters, Witch Fire. Can't remember exactly what they're called. And they will be led by... I'm distracting myself again, but I'm grabbing him. They're going to be led by this guy. This is going to be the model that I'll lead everybody. And I'm going to run him. I'm debating either with some guard or with my wardens. I don't know how good wardens actually are. I know my main problem with custodians is they're slow, which is why I got the transport. So my main goal for when I use this army, because my main thing is I always spread out way too far, and I get in positioning bad, is I want to focus on one part of the board and capture that section and just have it be mine. And if I can do some side objectives, awesome. The Silent Sisters are going to be more my like objective monkey. Same with the guard, but the guard are just more meant to be like, oh, I'm here. And I'm going to be running them as Lions of the Emperor, because it gives me a lot more options. Is what I will say. I mean, I was reading through it, and there's definitely some there's definitely some stratagems, that's the word, that will work out well. And I apologize if this is flying over anyone's head, or if it's flying over your head, Ben.
Yeah.
I've just spent like 2 days looking over like, oh, what could I do here? What could I do with this? Because stratagems are like the thing I'm trying to learn about the most right now. Wow, it's 9. Well, I did start streaming at like 7:30. I didn't realize how late I was streaming. I wanted to start at 6 initially, but
You got distracted.
I got distracted.
Titans.
Yes, I am a big dinosaur kid, and I recently found about Path of Titans, and I got sucked into playing that. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Why am I doing the green? I need red. I think it's because I just did green on that. I main the Sarcosuchus and one of the flyers. It's like the medium flyer, not the smallest one. I don't know its name, but when I play the flyer, I just fly around, watch people, usually follow carnivores and eat their kills after when they leave, if there's anything left. And with the croc is actually when I'm like properly playing. I just like reptiles in general, and dinosaurs and crocodiles are like my favorite modern reptiles. So I get to pretend that I'm one I'm swimming through, and I've had a very nice like community so far I've been meeting. I have played the Isle, and it was fun. I played as a Carno. That's one of my favorite. I love old dinosaurs in general, but the Carno is one I play on the Isle, but my computer can't run the most up-to-date version of the Isle, which is then why I went to Path of Titans. It's a weird little line of what got me to Path of Titans. Last stream I was talking about analog horror, and a lot of them were dinosaur themed. What just happened? I get notified when people subscribe. Sometimes. Only people that do it publicly. So that's what that little noise was. Anyway, yeah, it went from dinosaur analog horror to then watching Game & Beaver play Path of Titans, to then playing the Isle, realizing I couldn't play updated, to then buying the Isle. Or no, to buying Path of Titans and playing it. And that was the worst financial decision I could make. I'm not spending money on Path of Titans, but I spent the money, and I'm playing a lot more when I should be spending time editing videos and putting things out for people. I was almost half tempted just to do a Path of Titan stream, but I don't think that'd be the type of content this channel needs. I'm not a gaming channel anymore. Okay. It's like, do I really need to put these on the little thing at this point if I'm doing the little red wax dots? So, chat, is there any big projects that you are looking forward to doing, whether it be Warhammer or other hobbies you have? I have a few besides Warhammer minis. I know I said earlier I want to do the line when I hit 1,000 subs, just because I don't think I'm good enough. I think I'm getting close to being good enough to do them, but not to the point in my brain he should be done. But I also want to do some other things that I want to do. Is I want to make a little horror series on a second channel I have at some point with some friends, or just do other film prop videos in general. I bought something recently, and I'm going to make an AdMech cosplay for myself. And it all started with seeing a couple videos of like this specific item, like, oh, I want this, and then realizing I can make it. And I found the item I needed to make said thing. And now I'm like, I'm just going to get myself a red robe, and I'm just going to make myself an AdMech costume, because I have a respirator that I bought for work. And I can throw on a pair of goggles, because like I was saying earlier, me and Ben here used to play airsoft, and I prefer airsoft goggles when I work, so I go out and buy those. It protects you from BBs. Like, yes, could I get normal safety goggles? Yeah, but I like the black, like, lens look. And I found my most recent pair somewhere, so... Oh, I forgot a purity seal on the shield. Oh, no.
I'm gonna get ready for work now.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. I might get up to grab some water and go from there, but thank you for...
Hopefully you finish.
I don't think I'll finish these guys tonight, but they'll definitely... Oh, I forgot another. Next stream, it would be highlighting and all that. That's what next stream would be for these guys.
Nice.
So today was just finishing up painting and getting all the little things. So, best of luck at work, Ben.
I'll see you later.
See ya. He's a good friend. I like having someone else here to talk to, because I feel like if I sit here by myself too long, I just go quiet and don't say anything. And I don't think that's entertaining to anybody, but I'm also having to get used to talking to myself. Because I know during that whole time, he didn't say anything during that conversation. So... But I'm just finishing up the last seal on this guy. The red's a little bit too thin, so the black is showing through more than what I really like. I might hit these guys again, but again, I'm putting a wash on all this at the end, so... Okay, thank you, Reza. You now reminded me what I was going to say earlier about that other streamer. I was messaging them on Instagram because I've sent them some spare bits that I had for a model that they want to do. But they're waiting on GW to restock an Age of Sigmar model so they can do this kit bash. And I really want them to see him do it. I have to grab my phone and look at it to find it. Can I log into my Instagram on my computer? Is it just going to instantly remember me, or is it going to make me log in? Ah, it instantly remembers me. Okay. I'm going to go to my messages. So yeah, the person's name I was talking about was Rosaria Rivia. Or Rivias. I can't fully pronounce it. They're a good streamer. I enjoy their content. And they're looking for Vanguard Paladors. That's a model I was trying to find for them. Just to help another person out. Because with this community, if we don't help each other find models the best we can, or I don't know, just be helpful with each other. This has been a very friendly community from what I've noticed so far. Okay. So, purity seals are done. Next, and it's going to take the longest, I think. I'm going to do the smoke on this guy's stuff. And I also got to do the brown on his scabbard. I do want to grab the Knight Codex at some point. Not to leave your message hanging. Just because I have that one model, but at the same time, I could just get the Knight cards. I'm tempted to buy another Knight model, because with the Canis Rex one, you get so many bits that I could make 2 if I bought the other Knight model. But it's also more expensive than the Canis Rex one. And it's more the shooty one. So I'm like, I don't know. I am going to magnetize the Knight model when I get it so I can switch out different things. Just the weapon stuff. We'll see how that pays out. Ah! Good to know. I did not know that I could switch them into Horus Heresy. I do want to buy a Knight from Horus Heresy and bring it into 40k, but I'm not fully sure like how that would look or work. Does that make sense? Let's see, that's the deep gray. We'll do uniform gray and ash gray. I don't know what the size difference is either between Horus Heresy models and 40k models. Okay. I'm going to have to look up those models after this. I've done all this so far with just one brush. As before, I would use multiple brushes just to get one thing painted. I'm going to have to add water to my wet palette soon. I was scrolling through YouTube at some point, or on one of my days I was scrolling through YouTube and going through my shorts and all that stuff. I saw someone was taking some Horus Heresy models, mostly guard stuff, and making it so it would go with his Imperial Agents army. That was a tongue twister for me. They were, I don't think it was a Bane blade, but it was a big laser like a Bane blade, or a big cannon like a Bane blade. And I thought it was really cool that they were like kit bashing this whole model together and just doing different things here and there. So I like that about 40k. I want to get better at kit bashing. It might have been the Shadow Sword. It was specifically a Horus Heresy model that they were doing. I know the Shadow Sword another variant of the Bane Blade that you can make? I think it is. Because like you can make 8 tanks out of one box, which is awesome. And again, the Bane Blade's going to be one I have to magnetize as well, because I want to use every single tank eventually. Yes. Now that you say that, it reminds me of a short story that I was listening to I listened to a lot of 40k audiobooks. I recently moved away from Space Marine ones and moved into Caiaphas Cain and Guard books. And I was listening to the Guard audiobook collection. And one of the stories was about a tank crew and a Shadow Sword. And it had a couple scenes where like it was the voice of the Shadow Sword or of the tank was speaking. Of course, no one else could hear it, but like, it's for the book. And I don't want to spoil it because I think you should all go listen to it. It was a good audiobook. I think it's a good representation of the Guard. The Guard audiobook in general, like the compilation one, represents the Guard well because it's got a small Caiaphas Cain story in there, which made me like Caiaphas Cain, and then I started looking at some of his books. And the first story of the whole thing is a murder mystery. I didn't think I'd enjoy the murder mystery, but I did a lot, and it was a good twist. I thought it was going to be different than what it turned out, but after going back and thinking on it, like, you know what? That all makes a lot of sense. That makes 100% sense on, you know, why this character did this. I'm not giving spoilers because you should go listen to it for yourself. And now I'm looking at the chat again, and I'm thinking back on other things. Thinking back to that first tournament that I did and talking about it. My first opponent, I went against a knight player. He had one Imperial Knight and a bunch of the smaller knights as well. I didn't take out a single knight that entire game. And I really did not want him to be my first opponent. And now that I know that the Shadow Sword is supposed to be a time killer, I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I go against him with a Guard. Let's say I had two, like, Shadow Sword tanks. And then my other tanks doing different stuff. How would that go? I think I still would have lost and I still would lose against him, but it's a thought. It is a thought. I think it's always good to go back on different games that you've had and realize what you did good and what you did bad. Try to improve upon it. I've improved a lot from my first game. I've improved a lot with my first painting as well. I showed in the last stream where I started with painting to where I am now. And I have come a long way as well. I never thought I'd get to this point in my painting. But it does slowly creep up on you on how good you actually get. And if people want to share, I do want to see other people's art projects and what they paint as well. I've been tempted to make a Discord, but I want to wait till I'm a bit larger of a channel to make one and let people post in there. I do have an Instagram that if people wanted to send me models that they've completed on there, the channel name is the same as my YouTube, and I posted my finished models on there. I might start posting like my work in progresses after stream and stuff. Probably should get more traction that way. I think that smoke is looking pretty good. Because I'm starting late, because I started late, I'm going to go until about 10. I usually prefer to finish around 9, but let's see, I did that one. Now I need Ashen Gray. So I don't know if anyone is new here or not, and I'm going to repeat it for the third time. What I am working on is my custom kill team that I will be playing with a couple friends. My co-host that left for the night to go to work, Ben, he is a part of that kill team that we'll be doing, and a couple other friends. But I'm doing a custom Angel of Death kill team. I'm using the Inner Circle Companion, Blade Guard, Veteran, and the Company Heroes as the models for that. Blade Guard and Blade Champion, Inner Circle and Blade Champion are going to be running as Assault Intercessors, just without the Chain Sword. It's going to be a Power Sword. And the Blade Guard Vet is going to be running as a Heavy Assault Intercessor, but without the big gun, just a pistol and a Power Sword. I don't know if they'll be broken up, but again, this is a game with friends and stuff. I might just do this against me and Ben, because I'm also going to be doing a Tyranid kill team, and I might run that with those friends instead, but we will see. I'm excited to do the Tyranid one at some point. I have some of the models built. I'll be doing... There's not a direct Tyranid one out yet until the kill team box comes out, the Typhon one, which I'm excited to get. That's going to be my new favorite Tyranid model when those come out. But I'm just going to turn all the warriors in that kill team into like leapers and lictors. I'm sure a lictor can solo a kill team. That sounds like a fun army to try. Ezra, your orc army. I've played against orcs a couple times with my local library. And I was going to say, dude, they don't usually hit on 3s and 4s, right? They're a bit higher. Because you have to roll a lot of dice, from what I've seen. Orcs are like a fun army in general to paint and build, from what I've seen. Initially, for my art competition, I bought an orc model from the Age of Sigmar, and I was going to do 4 Space Marines taking on like the orc dragon from Sigmar, and I was going to do custom weapons and make it look like they're monster hunters taking on this dragon. And then I realized the rules like, oh, you can't have more than like 3 models in your thing. And then I realized how much work it was going to be. Like, I had the base for it done and everything. So I went to something smaller. But I will probably finish that one at some point. God damn! I don't know if I really want to fight that. I'm like reading your message there. Like, that's not an army I would want to go up against. Oh, I have a white already. I've gone against... do you have it? Yeah, I've gone against one battle wagon before. And that took a lot just to take it out. Ooh, that smoke is actually... Oh, look at that. I don't know how well you guys can see, but I like add a little bit of white to some of the edges of the smoke, and it's looking pretty good now. 180 wounds. That is a brick to chew through. Who do you normally play with? Like, do you play with a couple of your friends, or do you have like a group you go to and torture them with this brick of models? Did that stop? Not yet. Knights is only 140 wounds. It's still... Jeez. Damn, good for you. I was looking at some events that I want to go and check out this year, and the tournament, the World's Tournament was one of those that I wanted to like just go and see. I didn't know like how to get tickets to and stuff like that. But damn, best of luck with that tournament. That is a lot of wounds to go through. And that's some serious stuff too. Like, I know there's some very serious players that come with that. I think it'd be really cool if I ever got the chance to take part in one of those big tournaments. I don't know if I'll ever get to this point. It'd be awesome if I did. I'd like to appear on Eons of Battle. Just randomly. I don't know why I want to, but I'm like, I want to... I don't know. That might be something I do. Like, if I start the kill team with my friends, I will probably do a battle report. Like, once a week of, like, where everyone's at with scoring and all that stuff. But, damn, that's crazy that you're going to take part in that tournament. Mine's just at my local game store, and you might win... No, I'm trying to remember what you can win. You win, like, a gift certificate to there. I don't know if you win cash or not. I don't think it's any cash, just a bigger gift certificate. Wow, I can't say it. It's getting late. Gift certificate. But to get the Worlds in general. I don't know how many players usually... How many players are going to that tournament just for the chance to go to Worlds? Okay. I'm done with the smoke. This turned out a lot better than I think up here did. I think the gold is the gold makes it look better than the silver. I gotta do something for the edge of the sword. Why is that? That's not good. I want to keep messing with it, but that's gonna fall off if I do. Okay. I gotta do the beige stuff there. This is what I have to do with this bottle, because it won't pop out here anymore. And the last time I let a bottle squeeze I squeezed a bottle and it had a cap or blockage. This happened. This big spurt of paint on my mat. It covered a lot. I'm glad it didn't cover my art piece. That would have been really bad if it did. Okay, come on. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm just reading through the chat. It's always tough when it comes to picking what models you want to put in your list for any army. With in my library, they're trying to do a crusade, and I want to take part in it. And when I did I was going to do Space Marines. Now I'm going to switch to Custodes just because I have it done, and it'd be a lot easier. It's hard for me to decide what I want to put in the Space Marine list because I have Terminators I want to use. I want to use Blade Guard Veterans because they're one of my favorite Space Marine models. And then I have Dreadnoughts that I want to put in. I have tanks I want to use. And I could use these, not scouts, infiltrators with like a Phobos Librarian. That could be good. And then it's like, I have so much I want to use and do that it just gets to be so much. And I just realized there is one last bit of white I can do. And why am I taking this off? I need the white for the eye lenses. That will be the last thing I do is these eye lenses. And then I will probably call it a night. Take some water on my brush. Mix it back in. Okay, that is... I must have some red still in there. I still had some paint left in those eyes. You know what I can do instead? Stay right there. Drop this all weird. Take one little dropper. Just one water in. What did we just get? Another sub. Thank you for the sub. I'm not going to read off the name because I don't know if you want to be known or not. If this was on Twitch, it'd be a little bit different. And I thought about streaming on Twitch as well when I do YouTube, but I don't want to keep up with both. This is going to be way too much white paint. Whoop. Okay. So much white paint right there on that eye. Gonna let gravity kind of do its thing. Okay. And I'm gonna take this dry brush. There we go. It's a big puddle for a sec. Because there's a lot of water mixed in with this. It's almost... It's less than a contrast. Or close to a contrast. There. this is where it becomes kind of a problem. Now that white is hit black, I don't want it to hit. Oh well. This guy. Oh, there goes his arm. I knew that was gonna happen at some point. Okay. Can't do anything with his eyes. I'll fix his arm later. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew if I kept messing with it and wiggling it, it was gonna fall off. You got a bit of silver on your helmet, or you got a skull on your helmet. I gotta hit silver with, but first things first. I'm okay with a little bit of white overextending, but not too much. Because I will try to be doing a glow effect with some contrast paint. There we go. And not as bright as the last one, and there's some hair stuck in. Trying to get the hair off. I hope everyone's having a good night. I've been enjoying sitting here and yapping to everyone about Warhammer and any other random things. Lightly. It's more than a. This is not the right brush for doing this. A detail brush is much better. But mine is sitting in a cup in my bathroom waiting to get cleaned. And I wait until I have a few brushes that need to be washed before I clean them. I think tonight I really should, though. Oh yeah, there's a purity seal on the front of that. I had to do that. And I wanted to do red where that eye was. Sweet. It's going so much easier. Okay. I think next stream that's just going to be highlighting these guys. Might hit that with a bit of white again and then do a yellow on top of that. It's the problem with the eyes on the other side. I kind of got it. It's not perfect. But you're going to be seeing these from like 3 to 5 feet away. They're not always going to be perfect. With that being said, clean off that. Take some of this. Get back in this. Get my weird contrasty thing again. I need my thumb on my arm. One little droplet. Back into my cut. I have a cup of water with an eyedropper in it for whenever I need to add water to my wet palette or to a proper paint palette that I have here on the side for metallics or trying to make very specific glazes. Take that hair off. Now I need this for this eye. And it's not going to work like I hope, and I know it's not. There. Did I just get a message? I think my phone just buzzed. Yep. Okay. Look at that bee. Now I need the beige again, and that'll be the last thing, and it'll be close to 10. Okay. Last thing. Now this will actually be the last thing. I'm going to do the contrast paint into their eyes. And then I will be going to bed. Do I want to do this more orange yellow, or do I want to go straight to the more brighter yellow? I'm going to go with a more orangey one. Oh, that also reminded me. I did say I was going to take a little bit of this white and reapply it to the coils, and that didn't work out like I hoped. But I will be adding a contrast back over that. Not the same contrast as before. I'm actually going to let that dry to the side. I'm going to take this guy. Take this one, shake it up. And I'm going to play with that in a moment. Yep. There's way more paint there needs to be in those eyes, but I will take a dry brush and just soak up that extra paint. And just like that, it reactivated that white, which, not a fan of that. Not a fan that it reactivated the white in there, but oh well. Like these other eyes. This almost turns into that Imperial Fist contrast yellow with the white, but I think it is a little bit darker. Especially if you add a second coat on the contrast over it, it darkens it up. There we go, I think. I don't like how it's so dark in the center. Yeah, that other side is left side. Not a big fan of the way that eye looks, but I always have an issue hitting the opposite side. So start on this. Oh, there's so much paint. Soak it up. No, she does not want to be soaked up. We'll move on to the next one. Oh, the music just stopped. It's fine, we're coming near the end. I know if I let the contrast dry, it will soak into the recesses, but I don't want it to be that thick. Everything's thick, but not that thick. Okay. Clean the brush. Remove paint. Remove paint. And let's try to add some paint. Well, I do want to just one more thing, because it is going to bug me until I do it. We're going to add the yellow contrast paint just over all this. There. Glowing eyes, glowing pistol. I think that will do it for the night. I hope you all enjoyed. I enjoyed sitting here yapping at everyone. We are one step closer to this kill team being complete. Just a bit of highlighting left. Just edge highlighting. And then some wash on top. And I want to do a power sword effect somehow on these. I have a couple ideas, but we'll see. With that being said, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to plan on doing another stream this coming Saturday. I think it's going to be the 6th. It might be the 6th or 7th. I might do another stream middle of the week. If I do, it's either going to be Wednesday or Thursday. I'm leaning toward Wednesday doing a midweek stream. Again, from like 6 to 9. I will make a post on the channel. That's what I'll do. I'll post on the channel my stream schedule week. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed. And go out there and make something awesome. I know you will.